residential assisted living, senior living, let's just say senior living, doing good for seniors and also making good money is not a bad thing, you
I
know?
love this. So learn it. You just kind of hinted to something else, and it's related to today's principle. Learn it, do it, and then teach it. Or learn it, do it, and then automate it, delegate it, hire somebody, hire it out.
Totally.
So you learn it. That's what the webinars are for, and then you get a mentor, right? Because if you're going to be doing something, you need a mentor to do something, and then you start teaching your staff in order to scale up and get to the next level. So diving into
See
the
that?
principle that we're going to talk about this weekend, build a contagious
Yes.
culture in your business and marketing. So I know, Vinny, I dropped this principle on you like last minute, and you didn't have time to write me notes,
No
but
problem. No
I got some for you.
problem.
So for a person who's getting into this, just off the top of your head, without looking at any of the notes that I sent over, a person who's getting into residential assisted living, real estate in general, but this is a much better niche for people who they don't have a ton of money, but they're willing to do a lot of work and willing to bring in staff eventually, because you're doing all this with staff. What are some tips you give as a manager and owner of, you've had, I think it was 150 people had working for you, or it was over that. That was just the direct reports for you and your team. So what is something you did to build a culture that actually made them like coming to work and like doing a good job? Because that's what I think stops a lot of people from hiring is they're like, "Oh, you can't find good help." Well, you can find great help, but how long do they stay with you? And do they do things the right way? And that all comes down to cultural components. So if you can talk a little bit about maybe those first hires.
Love to, love to. See, the biggest thing is you got to have the pure heart. First of all, you got to really be totally immersed into what your business plan is. Where do you want to take your company to the next level? Like when I was buying Monil Investment Group properties, 50 units, 60 units, 191 units,
So what
192
was what was
units.
your peak? What was your peak
My
max
peak
units?
was 85, 8,000, 8,500. My own direct ownership. When I joined my LPs, because I invest into other people's syndications too, so that if they got a good deal, I invested lots of money in theirs. So that's like, I don't know, 16,000 units maybe, but I never talk about it. I just talk about where I was on the loan, on lots of millions of dollars of loan. So that's about 8,500 for over 1.3 billion direct. And if I join with my LP positions, then it's like 1.6 billion or something like that. But don't worry about it. And we did some award banquets also in the early years in Texas. I remember some of my students came there and they were flabbergasted, to see what kind of culture. Now, when we started selling our properties, because we sold a lot, our managers used to cry, literally. They said, Vinny, when are you going to buy the next one? And we still get calls now from Texas, from Arizona, I mean from, Florida, and then also from Atlanta, Georgia, right there, because that's where we did. And then also in Tennessee too. I mean, we just sold the asset there. So